good.
But Billy, thank you so much for coming on, chatting with me a little bit today. I know you guys are in Arkansas right now. I know it's definitely been a while since you've been back to Amarillo. How is just the road trip? I have to ask, how is this 2-week stretch going for you guys?
Yeah, this is our second week on the road. We've had a good 2 weeks. We're hot right now. Our last 2 games haven't gone our way, but, you know, our last 10 we've been doing well, so we're looking to add on to that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Billy, you've had 2 phenomenal starts. I know you had one on Tuesday with the Saudis there, picking up your 2nd win of the season. So just kind of tell me a little bit. I know your ERA has just plummeted, especially in these last 2 starts. Tell me, what's been your mindset going into these past 2 games that's been different?
Yeah, I mean, the move from high A to double A, excuse me, was always going to be a jump. You know, my first game, I definitely learned a lot. And, you know, within that week, made some adjustments with my pitching coach and, you know, my catchers. And, you know, they've been really helpful in the adjustment. They've really helped in these last 2 games. And then obviously just, you know, letting my defense and my fielders behind me do the work. They've been great behind me as well.
You mentioned you've learned a lot from this jump from high A to double A. What are some specifics that you've really learned that have been different?
I mean, the game's just a lot tighter now. Better players, smaller zone, a little bit of a smaller zone. Everybody's just better. I mean, you play against guys here that are former major leaguers, and then you play against, you know, 20-year-olds that are really, really good. So you get a good mix of some really good baseball players that you got to play against every night.
And your 2 great starts, how are you hoping to really build off of this momentum just heading into your next start?
It's really just staying in the moment and keeping my shoulders over my feet, just taking it one day at a time, not really thinking too much about the start day at all. Really just focusing on today and what I got to do today.
And you mentioned, obviously, just it comes with growth. The more you do it, you know, the better you get it, especially at this level. Just trying to get those reps and the more, I guess you could say, practice and the more throws and everything. How do you feel, especially your time so far with the Sod Poodles, that you've really just seen yourself grown?
Yeah, I mean, I've only been here about 3 weeks, but I mean, I can definitely say that I've loved my time here, and I'm going to definitely continue to grow as I spend more time in Amarillo with, you know, a really good coaching staff.
And so been here 3 weeks, obviously didn't have a lot of time in the actual city of Amarillo. You've probably been on the road more than you've been in Amarillo here. But you've gotten to play in front of the home crowd. Haven't you? Of
course, yeah. I had 1 week.
How was that opportunity for you just playing at Hodgetown?
Oh, it was great. The fans were great. My start didn't go as I had hoped, but you know, that whole week we had a really good crowd. It was a lot of fun. Really cool to see.
And with this ball club, I know it's a lot of movement. We all know kind of how the farm system works. Can be pulled up, pulled down at any moment. Anybody can. But you guys here with the D-backs, this organization, how do you feel just kind of the team chemistry, that bond has just kind of gone with some of the guys that you've been around?
Yeah, so I mean, we all know each other from spring training. We have a great group of guys here. I had a great group of guys in high A in Hillsborough. You know, anyone can be anywhere any given day. You know, people get moved up and down, but you know, mostly everyone I know here is great. I mean, great teammate, great people all around. So I can't complain about anything.
And kind of elaborating a little more on that movement, you never know. Like, you could literally get a call tomorrow or today, like tonight. So it's just kind of crazy just how that works. How does that keep you, though, just prepared and always performing at your best, just kind of knowing that you could literally get a call up at any moment?
Yeah, I mean, you spend enough time in the game, you see, like, a lot of players, you know, they're not around or they get sent down, they get sent up. You see a lot of movement. So it really just, every time it reminds you that, man, like you gotta bring your A game every day. You gotta come ready to compete because there's always someone below you ready to take your spot.
And just you talking about you have to be ready to compete. Obviously, to be at this level, you have to have a very competitive nature. Kind of now going into a little more personal side of you here, kind of what made you in the first place kind of want to start playing baseball? Where did that competitive nature come from you in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I started playing baseball when I was young, got into it with my dad, of course. I've played infield, I've played outfield, I've caught, I've pitched. I've always been a baseball player. And I grew up playing basketball. That's probably where a more competitive side of me came from. Definitely, I love basketball still. So that's definitely where a lot of my competitiveness comes from.
And you went to Pittsburgh. How was that opportunity for you playing?
Oh, I love Pitt. I mean, I can't say enough good things about the people at Pitt that gave me an opportunity to play there. A lot of good people. I love my time there, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
And just kind of looking here, I know you mentioned you loved basketball. Obviously, I have your stats right here. You're tall. So
Yeah.
6'8", playing basketball. So you think that's kind of where your competitive nature came from? I know obviously you're playing baseball, having a phenomenal career at it, but did you ever see yourself maybe going on to play basketball a little bit too?
No, I honestly wasn't that good. I can't lie. I was tall, but I was more of a 3-point shooter.
Okay.
I was all right.
I respect it.
Yeah.
See, I'm tall to be a girl, but I could not shoot a 3 whatsoever. So I respect
That's all right.
anybody with height that can pop it.
You need somebody to get rebounds.
That was all. I was the opposite side board the whole entire time. But Billy, kind of going now back, I know we spoke a little bit on it, just the team chemistry and bond. Going back to just the Sod Poodles as a whole now, you guys are pretty hot all around, pitching staff, in the batter's box, defensively, everything. But what has really stuck out has been the pitching that you've been a part of, the bullpen, the starters, everything. How do you feel these past couple games? I know lost the last 2, but on a good streak there for a little bit, definitely trying to get that momentum coming back up. How do you feel the pitching staff has performed these past 2 weeks?
I mean, I can't say enough about the bullpen behind me and the starters around me. I mean, they come every day locked in, ready to go, and it really, gives you a sense of, I need to do what I need to do because the guys around me are doing what they need to do. And, they come ready. Everybody takes this very seriously. So it's good to see, and it's good to be around.
And I know the past few games have been kind of low-scoring affairs, credited to some great pitching on both sides from the Travelers and you guys. But we've seen, especially last week against the Naturals, the offense really explode. As a pitcher, does it kind of give you a sense of relief knowing that you have such a good offense behind you that these guys can put runs on the board when needed?
Yeah, all those guys, they're great guys, all my good friends, and it's fun to play with them. And when they're firing on all cylinders, it's a lot of fun to be a part of, for sure.
And I know you mentioned you only got 1 start in front of the crowd at Hodgetown at Amarillo, but coming back home next week, I know I've just looked they have a lot of exciting stuff going on, but how excited are you finally to get back in Amarillo, kind of enjoy a little bit of more of the home crowd?
Oh, I'm very excited. I hear it's going to be a hot one next week, so going to be some good baseball.
And I have to ask, I asked the pitchers and hitters from the Sod Poodles this. Obviously, everyone kind of knows that Hodgetown is a hitter's paradise of a ballpark, especially when the wind is blowing out. How does that affect you kind of pitching? Because the wind can just be crazy here in Amarillo at any time.
Yeah, I don't really think it's something you could think about. It is what it is at this point, and you just got to trust your stuff out there, that what you've done your whole life will continue to work regardless of the wind or, the elevation or where you're playing. I'm not going to change how I pitch because of where I'm at. I'm just going to be me every day.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Billy, thank you so much. I know you got to go throw a bullpen, got to get back out there with the guys today.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for hopping on for a little bit, chatting with us today on the Sports Drive. Good luck the rest of this series and safe travels back to Amarillo when you guys are done.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. And we'll be right back on the Sports Drive.